motherfucking Eagle Double G.
What's up, fellas? What's up? Welcome, everybody, to another Wednesday. Whiskey and Wisdom After Dark. With your coach here, we got Donnie Nolan in Tennessee. We've got J Love in his bat cave here in Bastrop, and my guy Russell just down the road at the river at Bobby J's here in Bastrop. I'm your coach here in Bastrop. Also, our millennial vampire can't make it. He got stuck like Chuck, but that's all right. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. We're going to start off just like we do every week. What is everybody drinking, J Love? What you drinking over there?
Did we lose him?
Donnie, what about you? I couldn't hear J Love. I don't know what happened.
I'm on the mend, so I'm still drinking sweet tea. I actually went to work today, so hopefully next week I'll be drinking.
I like the sweet tea. What about you, Russ?
Well, you know, I'm trying to be a wannabe Mexican, so I'm still drinking my Modelo Chelada this week. We'll be switching to Miller Lite here in a little bit.
We had done.
Yeah. So you were drinking sweet tea, right, Donnie?
That's it. Russell's drinking Modelo.
You're still drinking Modelo, Russ? Russell?
I guess everybody's having technical problems tonight.
All right, you know what? Me and you are going to do this, Donnie. We'll just talk to each other until these guys figure it out, because I'm not going to sit and pause. Anyway, sorry for all the trouble, everybody. Thank you for hanging in there with us. This is Whiskey and Wisdom After Dark. It's January 18th. We're going to talk about a couple of different things. First of all, a little update on the whole ice bath thing, Donnie. I think it's been good. I've 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 days. I'm on it. 3 minute minimum. Try to keep it below 45 degrees. Staying in for 3 minutes. Then right before I come out, I dunk my head in there, and it's the best feeling in the world. I was really pissed off, though. Friday the 13th, my wife and I, after 2 weeks of being sober, decided to tie one on. And we got really, really drunk, had a really, really good time. But that Saturday, she could not get up and do anything. We woke up at about 11, had a little breakfast, lay down on the couch, slept till about 6, had a little dinner, slept again till Sunday. I was so fucking pissed at it. It was just an utter disappointment. I was really mad because it screwed up not only my ice bath, but my 30-day challenge. I was 5 days in a row in it. That getting drunk just took over everything that I was doing. And so it was the worst day ever. That was on the 14th. Sunday, I got back in the ice, did the challenge. Monday in the ice, and then watched the Cowboys win. Congratulations, Russell, and all you Cowboy people out there. And so because of the win, Russell was all excited, started buying shots and all kinds of shit. Well, I got a little toasty, but I told myself, no way. Not this time, son. So Tuesday morning, I got up at 7:50. And I grabbed my phone, I grabbed a towel, and my wife looked at me, and she looked like hammered dog shit because she got drunk too. She goes, no way, you're not doing this. I said, yes, ma'am. I got in that bitch for 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And Donnie, it lasted, brother. It lasted from 8 o'clock in the morning till about 2, and the monkey jumped on my back at 2 o'clock. And so I had, so Joe Rogan, I hope to meet you one day. I know you come to Bastrop to buy all your guns, your ammo, and your archery here at the Brothers down the road. I know you do. So hopefully I meet you one day. But I took that Alpha Brain. I started taking that Alpha Brain.
How do you like it?
Dude, I like it. It doesn't give you the jitters because it doesn't have caffeine. It's no gluten and no caffeine. Of course, I don't know what the fuck gluten is anyway. And I think if J-Love could get his mic fixed, he would agree with me. What the fuck is gluten and who cares? But there's no jitters or nothing, and it was really good. I mean, it just keeps you awake, keeps you focused. It's not like the Hydra Cut. The Hydra Cut that It's not like that. It's really good. So I ordered. I have that, and I gave Russell one today, and I don't know if he really felt it or not. He took a nap, but I like it because it's not that intense thing. But I also got some of Joe Rogan's, and it's on it. ONIT. That's the company that makes it.
Mhm.
I got the mood and relaxation pills. They should be coming in soon, and that helps you, relieve anxiety, stress, and then that anxious feeling you get when you're hungover.
Yeah.
It's supposed to calm you down, and I got that when your boy Kreishner was on there with Joe Rogan. He was hungover because he said he smoked a lot of weed and drank like a bottle of whiskey the night before, and he goes, "I just feel so anxious." He goes, "Hold on a minute," and he yelled at one of his producers. He said, "Get a bottle of the mood stuff," and so he did. And in like 10 minutes, he was like, "Dude, this feels good. This was really good." So I ordered a couple of bottles of that. I'll keep you up to date. On that stuff. So, but I'm really excited. I feel good. Now it's to the point, Donnie, and you know what they say, if you do it like 21 times, it becomes a habit.
Yep.
Now, if I don't do it now, I get really, I'm not happy, and
Sure.
I'm just, it's not a good day for me. So, that's where I'm at with that ice bath, and I got to get back on the 30-day challenge. That one drunk night
Can you
just
hear me now?
did me in. Yes, J Love. Thank you for coming in, brother. Thank you for coming in.
Try to
So
turn your volume.
What?
Turn the volume up a little.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
Fucking
Hopefully we're done with all the technical problems. But
well, let's
so
hope.
that's what we were drinking. J Love, what are you drinking? You didn't never gave me.
Well, yeah, sorry about that. I had to go back to Old Trusty and get my parts lubed again. Good old garage oil whiskey, America's badass.
You some bitches over there need to bring us some bottles, dude. J Love plugs you motherfuckers all the time, and we don't have shit from you. Come on, guys.
This is horse shit. These guys are fucking blowing up, though. I've been following them on Facebook, and they're winning awards left and right, which I knew that they would.
Yeah.
But it's just it's phenomenal, and it's also a beautiful thing to watch. Some local boys do good, and when I say local, I mean they're right up the road, in the Wilco area, Leander Cedar Park area, and these guys are fucking phenomenal. Two
cool.
very down to earth individuals. Their spirits are good. They're branching off into that, like the Jack Daniels does those colas with the rum and coke or whiskey and coke type thing. So they're branching off into that, but they've got some real catchy names, and they've slipped my mind as of right now. But they're supposed to be released, I think, before the summer.
Oh, good. Yeah, those will definitely screw with you. The mixed drinks, the Jack and Cokes and all that, all the carbonation, that'll really hurt your vagina. So how about some WTF moments, gentlemen? I've got 3 of them, and this might take up, and I know Russell has one, and this might take up most of our show, this WTF moments, but Donnie, do you have any WTF moments this week, brother?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few that I can think of off the top of my head, but the biggest one that I've seen is coming out of the White House, and just the mishandling of documents, and now the reporter or the FBI agent that quashed the story is saying on the laptop he admitted under oath that he did know it was he did know it was Hunter's laptop, but he was told by higher ups to quash it.
Mm-hmm.
So just the amount of geopolitical stuff that's going on, the documents that were found in the garage pertain to Ukraine, so
but they were next to his Corvette, so all's good.
Yeah, and the door was locked, but they have but they also have no record of who visited his house. Then the other ones were found at the Penn think tank for his think tank, And the funny thing is that think tank got $28 million worth of funding from China. So it's just the biggest sham. They'll never get any kind of publicity.
Right.
But I give Peter Ducey credit. He's standing out in the White House lawn yelling across the lawn at him, and it was funny shit.
That was fucking
really
classic.
But if you want the most recent, Jimmy Fallon last night had a parody song.
Donnie, go ahead. I'm gonna let you start, but this is my third what the fuck moment of the. Go ahead, Donnie.
Yeah, he had a parody song of the COVID, the new variant EBB 1.1.5 or whatever it is, and just made fun of it. And you know, I knew somebody would blow it up, and Matt Walsh ended up blowing it up. I figured it would be Shapiro, but you know, you go crazy about everything in this, and now it's a joke. You know, you can't have it both ways. I mean, you can't say it killed 500,000 people and then make a joke about it. But the leading forensic person on this is now saying that.
Hey, can you hear this?
Isn't it? Don't worry. Jimmy Fallon has just play the clip. There was Alpha, then Delta, then Omicron next, but this latest variant might be the best. It's XBB.1.5. Another brand of COVID-19 has arrived. It's a new strain, but it isn't the same. Sounds more like Elon Musk's name. It's XBB.1.5. Not UB40, who sings red wine. Put on your mask.
All right, enough of that bullshit. Go ahead, Donnie.
But the craziest part of all of this is the lady that was leading all the forensic data coming in is saying now that, that only 30% of the deaths can be attributed to COVID. Everything else was attributed to something else. And they had COVID at time of death, or they were charged with COVID at time of death. So that is, that's a big number. 30% of all deaths were related to COVID.
So I'm gonna let you finish, Donnie, but I've got to preface this by saying, YouTube kicked our last podcast off last week because we gave our opinions, and that's what that was. We gave our opinions on COVID-19. Donnie went into his spiel about what he knows, how it's injected, and so they told me that because he's not a licensed medical doctor, that his opinions are just hearsay, and you can start a cult if you know you're good looking enough and you got the right. You're just not supposed to say anything because you have no concrete evidence to back it up, and you're not a medical doctor, and so our opinions didn't count. What we're bringing up now,
I'm not a medical doctor.
And it was and they are our opinions, and we stand by them. We don't give a shit if you think we're right or wrong. But that's why they kicked it. That's why they kicked our last episode off, which I thought was one of our best episodes ever. It got some traction on Spotify, which I'm glad. So if you people are wondering what the hell happened, I'm really pissed off about it. And I think I'm on my third appeal. And this one might be just kicked off anyway. I'm gonna start by saying this. Fuck you, YouTube. I don't appreciate what you did. It was our opinion. If we went too far, we went too far, but people can make up our mind. That's all it was, is our opinion. I think Joe Biden is a fucking idiot. How about that? Can't kick me off for that. That's an opinion. It was our opinion about COVID-19. What is so bad about this? And again, because I'm reading this book of giving zero fucks, I give zero fucks about this. I just think it's comical when you people on the left side, you people in movies and in TV, of
Well,
influence.
don't forget there's those on the right too that are just as fucking stupid.
Okay. You guys are in here telling us you need to get this vaccine. You need to get this vaccine. You shut us down for 2.5 years. Businesses closed because of this shit that y'all made up, and you made us go and into hiding. You made us stay 6 feet away. You made us wear masks. You did everything you could because it was so serious. And this COVID-19 is so serious. And you have to take these vaccines that we on the show call shots, because that's all it fucking is. I'd rather take a tequila shot. I think it cures more. But that was so serious to where now the same people that were begging everybody to take these shots and to stay home and 6 feet away, now people like Jimmy Fallon are making fun of that same shit that was so serious. And I think that guy on the TikTok, I think he said it best, Donnie, when he said, "So what's next? Is he going to make a song about AIDS? Ooh, yeah. AIDS, it's a joke. Oh, HIV, it ain't real." Or cancer. Are you going to make a joke about cancer? Are you going to make a funny song about cancer, you fuck? Is that what's next? Jimmy Fallon? You know what? Tom Cruise used to be one of my favorite actors. But once I found out about all that, what was Scientology and all that other bullshit that he's into, once I found out about that, I couldn't stand it. Jimmy Fallon has just fallen off the face of the earth, along with the douchebag on Step Brothers that came down and was all about Beto. What was his name? Will Ferrell. Dude, you guys can just jump off a cliff. I don't give a fuck about any of you. I don't give a fuck about that. I just think it's funny. You're gonna be so serious about this COVID-19, but now we get to make funny songs about it. Yeah, that's it. One of my what the fuck moments, Donnie. I'm with you.
We get fucking cut off of YouTube, basically saying about these shots, and then the CDC comes out a couple days later and says, "Oh yeah, they've caused strokes."
Yeah.
We know it's causing myocarditis.
Well, it was your fault too, Russell. I forgot to throw you in. Let me throw you under the bus. It was your fault too because you gave out statistical numbers.
Correct.
What were the numbers again?
Up until 2019, 139 years of data for athletes, 29 per year dying from cardiovascular events, and then now the average is 1,600 over.
That was the other reason we got kicked off. Go ahead. I just. It's comical.
It is. It's comical, except for they're censoring our free speech. And you know what, YouTube? Fuck you. You little bitches. I hope
you're cutting off, Russell. Fix yourself.
It's almost like someone's already censoring him.
Right? I just could not believe out of all that. They took it. You can say certain things, but you can't. It just doesn't make any sense. And we're nobody.
It goes back to the double standards. I mean, going back to begin with what we started off in this whole what the fuck thing with Joe Biden. I mean, it's not your opinion that he's a fucking idiot. Those are facts. He's a fucking idiot. And those around him that surround themselves are fucking idiots, but they're getting paid very, very well to protect someone who really isn't the someone that everybody wants us to believe. But that's a story. That's a story for another time. But yeah. Like what Donnie was saying, I mean, it makes absolutely no sense that the double standards. It just doesn't add up with everything that they were trying to bitch, moan, and groan about President Trump about. It is now being done. I mean, it's the same damn thing. It's the exact same fucking thing. The only real difference is that what everybody keeps failing to mention or they avoid is that the president has the authority to declassify anything that he fucking wants or anything that she fucking wants, not the vice president, But then who's to say that with Biden at the time being VP under dumb shit, who's to say that the documents he has aren't blackmail? I mean, who's to say he doesn't have blackmail on the blackmail? I don't mean
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't mean no dumb shit. I mean Michael, the real man in that relationship. But you could go on and on and on, and the double standards, it just does not make any sense. And then for those of us like myself, Donnie, I call it the "I told you so" movement. I mean, we've been screaming this shit for 2.5 fucking years that you're full of fucking shit. But then now that everything's coming to light, I mean, it's actually comical. It's one of those situations to where I just sit back, grab my popcorn, and watch the movie just unfold.
Yeah.
Hey,
that reminds me. You guys are talking. My boy Johnny Boy. I was trying to get him on here to talk about the Bible, just a written word, where it originated, why he believes in it, and it's taking a long time. And I'm not throwing you under the bus, John, because I know you're gonna listen to it. But it's taken you a long time to gather all your information and study up and all this other. We're just a bunch of guys talking, giving our opinions from what we think we know and from where we've been. If anybody out there wants to come out here and defend the Bible and how it's written and what they believe, please comment. If we're still up on YouTube, you can go and comment there. If not, you can comment on Spotify. You can comment on Spotify. You can get a hold of us on Facebook. We would love to have you on. Anyway, we're not going to talk about
not just that, but there's so many folks that will comment on a DM or a text to myself and say that I would love to be on the show. I'm like, well, fucking don't talk about it, be about
it. Yeah, come on.
I mean, we are more than open to have somebody else on here, whether it be a male or a female. Just come to the table with some substance. But regardless, stand by your fucking convictions. Don't say one thing and then turn around and do the other.
Yeah, because I mean, and you guys, you people that are listening, man. I mean, we love this, and we talk more shit to each other off the camera during the week. So this is nothing, guys. Y'all come on. We will not throw the first punch until you do. Once you do, then gloves are off, and here we come. But we will respect your word and
you better count.
Let you speak
after that,
and let you speak. But let's see YouTube. We crossed that one out. The Jimmy Fallon fiasco. I'm just going to tell you my last one, and I'm going to get back to you guys. Because I do want to end this WTF moment with Russell. Russell, I'm going to let you go last, bud.
All right.
Because I'm really excited about tearing that shit up. Another WTF moment. I've been reading that book, Give Zero Fuck, the subtlety of giving zero fucks, which is a great book. I think you guys need to look into it. Also, I started reading another book, or my wife and I started reading another book, and David Goggins. If I could find what it's called, I'm sorry, I'm not very prepared, but it's David Goggins wrote a book, and basically I'm getting into the first chapter, right? And it is just unbelievable. The book is called Can't Hurt Me. Okay. And the life that this guy leads or how he grew up, it'll make a grown man cry. Okay. And will make you think about your own being for a second. And then with the other book, makes you really think. So I came to, and I did this in my ice bath. I came to a realization.
You had an epiphany?
Yeah, I had a Tiffany. No, I had one of those in college.
Oh no.
I am not about the goal or the end result as much as I am about the journey now. What I mean by that, me and my wife set a goal. We want to go to Greece. Okay, how are we gonna do that? I don't have the money. She doesn't have. We don't have the money to just go to the bank, take out 10 G's and go to Greece, for a week. So we have to set smaller goals to be able to go there, right? In doing that, those smaller goals will make a huge difference on who you become. I might have to quit going to McDonald's once a week. I might have to quit going to the bar once a week. I might have to change my mindset on how I do and what I do. Instead of us eating out, twice a week, now we will have to start cooking here together in our home, And so how to save money and to prepare for things like that. And then once we get to Greece and we're looking over the ocean and sipping our wine and having our cheeses and fruits or whatever the hell we're going to do in Greece, because I don't know what I'm going to do in Greece. She does. But that's when we could soak everything in and relive and go back and talk about the journey that got us here. I think the journey would be more important than the end result itself. I don't want to get too fucking deep on this show either, but I mean, it's just one of those 2.5 minutes into my ice bath when it's 48 degrees or 52 degrees outside and the water's 40 degrees and I'm watching my breath and I come to the realization, man, it's not about the end goal. It's about the journey. It's not about, being 180 pounds and losing. It's not about losing the 100 pounds. It's the journey going through what you go through to lose that 100 pounds. So anyway, that's my what the fuck moment. J-Love, what about you?
My what the fuck moment, I think, kind of coattails on the just this past national holiday celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. and his life. But the artist, my what the fuck moment goes back to the artist that came up with this god awful hideous fucking sculpture. Some $10 million invested in this fucking thing, and it looks just like it's supposed to be the last embrace. I guess some award that he had received, so him and his beloved wife embraced, and it's supposed to be them. I don't know if it's their arms embraced or whatever the case may be, but it looks like someone or something is holding a huge fucking cock is what it looks like. And it's just it makes absolutely no fucking sense. I mean, did they not get with the family of Mr. King? I mean, anybody? Grandkids? Anyone? I mean, did they not consult with anyone? It's one of the most god awful hideous fucking sculptures I've ever seen, next to that big fucking chrome silver fucking bean that's probably a goddamn alien spaceship that sits in Chicago, that has been there forever. Blues Brothers rolled around in that bitch in their cruiser back in the day. But I just sat there and I didn't understand. And I love art, don't get me wrong, but somebody somewhere help me make this make sense, because it doesn't to me. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this doesn't work. I mean, did anybody get with fucking a grandkid, a sibling, cousin, aunt, uncle, something? It was just hideous, fucking hideous. And I'm sitting there thinking Martin Luther King Jr. is probably like, I fucking died for this shit. So, but I mean, who am I? I'm just a fucking dumbass half breed who don't fucking know anything.
2 for 2 there. Oh my gosh, Russell, keep your cool now, bud.
Okay, well,
let us have it.
So my two what the fuck moments kind of tie together. So the first one, and I sent this in our text thread. The Miss Universe pageant was, and the person, and I don't know if Trump sold the Miss Universe pageant to this person or if this is the second time sold.
He sold back in 2015.
Right. And I don't know if I think this is the second time it's been sold since, but it's a transgender. The Miss. he, she, whatever he identifies, she identifies, it, they, them, whatever, identifies as, basically comes out and starts preaching about what it means. And he was a biological male at birth, what it means to be a woman, and how basically defining womanhood and how it is to be a woman. And I'm just thinking, you're running a pageant for the Miss Universe pageant, and you're talking about what it means to be a woman to all these women, and you're not even a woman. So for me, I was just like, where's the common sense in our country where somebody like that feels entitled for a place where they can say that to 100 women across the world, and most of the countries throughout the world, they're probably laughing at us for shit like this. And that was
not just that. Well, keep in mind though that with that individual, I mean, you've also got all those other women up there that are just so fucking brainwashed that they're just clapping along with her. Him,
yeah.
Shim, it.
Yeah.
And just like, oh my God, yeah, you know what? It's right. So then of course they're fucking clapping as well, because it's just all it's all part of the curriculum. So I agree with you. But all I could think of when I saw that was the scene from Hangover 2 with fucking Bangkok and Stu and and the stripper. That's all I could fucking think about.
Yeah.
So that they climaxed at the same time.
Yeah, that's a classic movie. In my bottom. So the second one was and I sent it today, was an administrator, and I forget the name of the college, and I had it written down, but I left my paper. Basically, an administrator saying that at the college they're going to put basically menstruation products, health products, in the men's because she came out and TikTok that women, she said, women aren't the only one that menstruate. And listen,
wow.
My wife tells me I'm on my period at least twice a month, but I swear no blood comes out.
Right. So many surgeries as you want. You can take as many hormones as you want. You can get your dick turned inside out and make a vagina. But you can't have a period if you're not a woman biologically. And so you're putting tampons and dental dam, all kinds of shit, in a men's bathroom. And she's basically advocating and made it and put it in the budget. And where's our common sense? How is this person? And of course, she's some redheaded, pink-headed, vagina hat wearing snowflake. That's a college administrator. Basically,
who probably got her degree in liberal arts.
Right.
That's probably her degree.
The most useless $100,000 you can ever use.
Right. So she basically comes out, and we all understand that women are not the only ones that menstruate. And I'm like, who all understands? Idiots? Like, what are we talking about here? What are we doing? Where are we at as a society that we have lost all common sense? I don't care if you dress up like a woman, if you want to play pretend, if you want to do things. Hey, you like we said last week, you
want to play pretend?
That's fine. We can play the what. But this is the problem that I have with the whole thing. I don't care what you. Don't force me to walk up to you, Coach. If tomorrow you decided that you want to identify as a Blue Jay, I don't have to call you a Blue Jay because you look like a Mexican man to me.
There you go.
You are. And so the thing that I have the biggest issue with, and the what the fuck for me, is why in the world with this movement are you trying to force society, 99% of society, on the right and the left for the most part, that I call you a certain thing, or you're a bigot, you're a homophobe, just like the hockey player that didn't want to come out and wear the gay pride jersey because it's against his religion. He's getting crucified.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that too.
My favorite hockey player, but why in the world? That's the problem. That's why this whole movement is going to fail, and it's going to crash and burn because people don't. You can't sit there and tell people what they're supposed to say and how they're supposed to think, especially when they're talking about follow the science. Well, in science, when they dig you up 1,000 years from now, J-Love, when you're dead and they dig your bones up, they're going to know you're a male. And when Coach in 1,000 years, when they dig your wife up, they're going to know she's a female. But they go around and they chastise you and they tell you you're homophobic and you're transphobic and all this bullshit. No, I believe in reality.
Well, if you don't fit into their agenda, whatever the agenda may be, doesn't only have to be this. It could be any agenda the left have. You're going to, or the extreme right for that matter.
Sure.
Or the extreme right for that. But if you're not allowed to think for yourself, if you don't agree 100% with their agenda, and that's what it is. I mean, let's be honest.
Group thing.
It's an agenda. If you're not in agreement, then you are chastised. Then it becomes not just a rally, but now it becomes something violent. Donnie, what do you think, bud?
I mean, this is all. It's all a science, and they tell you to trust the science when they want to, but it's the opposite when they don't.
When it fits their agenda.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
they want you to trust the science as long as it benefits them.
Yeah, and I do understand their point on gender identity. You feel like a woman. I get that part. I totally get it. But
100%.
When they're crossing the line, it's when they go to something like your sexual orientation. Okay, you can be gay or whatever, but you were born as a male or female, and they've changed that. You can feel like a woman. I get it. I feel like a woman, whatever. But you're still male. You're still XY chromosome, XX chromosome. Bullshit else doesn't fucking matter. You can tell me you're having period pains. Okay, that's great. But guess what? You're not having a fucking period. If you've got a dick. Like, it doesn't work.
Probably just have to shit.
Yeah, you're gassy, or you're in your mind has made it seem that way. So for me, it's common sense. But and I don't care what you want me to call you. Fuck, I don't give a shit. I could care less.
Right.
Am I gonna mess it up? Probably. Like, if you don't tell me and you say, you assumed I'm a woman. I'm sorry, you got tits.
Your tits got in the way.
Yeah.
If you don't want me to call you a woman, I'll call you a female. I'll call you a female. Guess what? I'm not wrong. But in the same sense, it's just it's going to collapse on itself. It can't continue. And honestly, we're one of the only countries that's doing it. So every other country is like, those fucking Americans are stupid as shit.
West,
I mean,
this is a first world problem. And again, I don't care what you want to call yourself. Call yourself fucking Clifford the Big Red fucking Dog. I don't care. But don't try to force me to call you something when, motherfucker, you're not Clifford the Big Red Dog. You're an Irish redhead fuck from Milwaukee. Fuck you. I'm not going to call you Clifford the Big Red Dog because you're stupid. They should put you in a straitjacket and straighten you out and give you shock treatment. That's just what I think. And I think we all.
Yeah.
I think that 81 million. I think that the 81 million that voted for all this bullshit or whatever it was, I think they should watch the ending of A Clockwork Orange and see how that turned out.
Great movie. Oh my gosh. That was thank you for bringing that up. Those are some great memories right there.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. It really doesn't. But then, like Donnie said, I mean, we are one of the one and only countries that are doing bullshit like this. And like, to touch on what Russ said, this is first world problems. Everybody else has a lot more shit to fucking deal with and to worry about whether or not they're going to have a fucking menstrual cycle.
And that's a great segue, J Love. You and Russell, first world problems, right? We talk about the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Sometimes in life, I don't know if y'all read what I gave you this week. The the subtle art number 2. That's a great segue, you guys. The first world problem. You know, it talks about it talks about the story of the 80-year-old lady that goes to the grocery store, and the 17-year-old kid is, you know, doing the groceries, and she's doing the coupons. Well, he doesn't accept a 30-cent coupon, and she goes ballistic, right? So she's going ballistic on a 30-cent coupon, and the 17-year-old is, you know, guarding his register like, what he said, like a gladiator guards the princesses.
Yeah, he's the whole dungeon master in the whole D&D game.
Because why?
He's getting ready to roll the 12-sided die.
Yeah, because why? Because the little old lady probably has nothing else in this world left to worry about but clipping coupons. That's her give a fuck. That's what she gives. And the 17-year-old has so many things that he gives a fuck about. His job, his girlfriend, you know, his dad beating his ass, his mama's approval, wanting a car, grades, sport. He's got so many things he gives a fuck about that he can't see the forest through the trees. And, you know, you talk about these first world problems. Well, sometimes people don't have any problems, like that lady that wants to put, you know, tampons in men's breath. She has nothing else better to do. She has not devoted herself to something real, something that will guide, something that will branch, something that will grow in a positive way, something that will help. This is what she devotes her life to. And you're right, it's a first world problem, because shit like this, you don't have this problem in the third world countries. That motherfucker's just looking for something to eat.
Right.
You know?
Well, not just that, but they're looking just to stay alive through the night.
Exactly.
It's not just about, you know, nourishment. It's the simple fact about, you know, they're having to fucking watch their own ass 24/7, you know, for fear of a flying bullet or, you know, an incoming missile. This
you want to talk about zero fucks? You think those guys care about fucking coupons or whether you're a man or a woman or what the hell you want to call yourself? Those guys can give zero fucks about that. They give maybe 2 or 3 fucks about 2 or 3 things on a daily fucking basis.
Think about what's happening just south of our southern border right now, where the cartel is running the entire country of Mexico. Do you think those people in those towns, those villages, are worried about some guy wearing a dress wanting you to call him a woman? No.
I'm sorry, that is funny.
Exactly. Because that motherfucker is hanging from a bridge.
Right
about now.
Yeah.
With his fucking cockaballs cut off, his entrails just hanging out. People out there that are listening are probably like, yeah, that doesn't happen. You know what, motherfucker? I'll show you videos.
You guys have we've had this on our text thread. By the way, all you people that are listening, we text thread. Our text thread is ongoing every single fucking day about all kinds of different stuff. But there usually is some good stuff on there, and one of them,
mostly I don't know what when Tristan chimes in.
Right. One of them, I don't know what the movie's called, but we need to get this movie where this college girl asks why America's the greatest country in the world.
It's not a movie. It was on HBO. It's called Newsweek.
Is it? And he's and the guy asking the questions.
Thing ever.
He said, no, answer the question. He goes, you really want me to answer? He goes, yeah. He goes, America's not the greatest country in the world. And he goes off on naming 5 or 6 other countries that are better than us. And he's like, he goes, yeah, you're fucking wrong. This is not the greatest country in the world. It used to be. It was at one point in time. And God, I wish we could get back to it. But we're not. We're not, because our give a fucks are so vast. They're about so many other things right now that just do not matter. And then for those of us that don't, or those of us that don't have any problems, like a Will Ferrell, well, let's fucking create one.
Right.
Oh, let's go beat Beto or whatever. You can't even say his damn name. Let's go do that. dude, I'm telling you, these third world countries are better off than we are. I mean, we're talking
In a lot of ways, they are.
Yeah, we're wasting 45 minutes to an hour of our podcast every day talking about stupid shit like this. The guy's got a dick, but he's got to be a girl, and we got to sell him some tampons.
You know, but the funny thing is, we laugh about it, but at the same time, you say that we waste 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, whatever the case may be. And in some cases, maybe we do, but
right.
At the same time, I look at it that, well, what if the shit that we just fucking just let all out from every one of us, what if that information gets out to somebody and then they take it and then they tell two friends and they tell two friends and so on and so on. I mean, you remember the old commercial.
Yeah.
But it's little things like that. And I always talk about it, not so much on our thread or anything, but when I post shit, I always like hashtag crumbs, because I'm always leaving crumbs for people to pick up on. Just to pick up on and just, take and run with it and decide what you will. Because I mean, that's the beauty of it all. We have that ability to be able to choose what the fuck we want to believe. And again, it's not always right, but then again, it's not always wrong.
Right.
So I mean, we have to look at that.
And going back and talking about about the subtle art of giving zero fucks. The book isn't about giving zero fucks, because if you give zero fucks, then you go to that first world country that you're talking about, Russ, and you start making shit up because you don't have anything to do. And your mind starts creating this movie in its own mind, and you start creating these things to give a fuck about,
Case in point, that red-haired lady that wants to do whatever the fuck she wants to do.
Exactly. But you got to find meaning in something. That lady can't find meaning in anything, I promise you. And again, this is my opinion, but I'll bet 1,000 to your one that lady has a zero meaning in her life anywhere else, that she has to find meaning in that.
Well, and to touch on what Jayla said, we do this podcast and we do it for fun, but we do have quite a big following now, and we have Tristan on this show, and we're always talking about why you should vote and why you should care about certain things. And if it's just one person or two people or 20 that listen to us and they start putting their mind up and stop being in the matrix, and they start free thinking, then we've done something. And that's the difference that we can make in our world and our society. I think that's important. That's something that we should give a fuck about.
Right.
Tristan can act like all day long that he doesn't care or he doesn't listen. He does. And we've influenced him. And there's other people.
I guarantee you he does.
There's other people on this podcast or listening to this podcast that they're like, man, that I've never heard it put that way before. And it makes sense. So we are making, and to me, I give a fuck about that. And I think that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, exactly. I do.
I guarantee
I love that you used the word fuck 15 times in 2 sentences.
I guarantee you that Tristan has an earpiece in right now, even though he's on fucking date night. He's listening to what the fuck we're saying. Yeah. I guarantee you. He's going to come back next week.
Yeah. I want to wrap up this not the podcast. I want to wrap up the second part of this first chapter. And it was, the subtle art of not giving a fuck. The second subtle art of not giving a fuck. Okay. Wrap it up with the first one. So in this one, basically it says, perhaps the most important and productive thing you can do with your life is find something important and meaningful to give a fuck about. That's perhaps the most important thing. And so now you're going, hey, coach, but that chick, that's important and meaningful to her to put tampons in a boy's restroom. No, but if you go back to the subtle art number 1, okay, the subtle art of giving a fuck number 1 is the emotions that you get from the fucks that you give, the emotions that you get gives you a moral compass and gives you your virtues and values to who you are and where you are. And so if you find yourself not giving a fuck about anything, you need to take time in your life All right. And find something important and meaningful in your life. And that would be the most productive time that you can ever get. So you have to give a fuck. Just find something to give a fuck about. And with that, gentlemen, I'm going to hand it over to my guy, Russ Bus, for our first FMK of the evening. Go ahead, Russell, take it away.
Well, Coach, I told you what my fuck, marry, kills were, but I'm going to throw you a curveball.
I love curveballs. I used to hit them at the park. Go ahead.
So we're going to go 90 country singers. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Okay.
We're going to go. Oh, no. Shania Twain, Faith Hill, Martina McBride.
Oh, wow.
I'm ready.
Me too.
I am so ready. I am just so ready. I'm going to start with this because I don't know why. Faith Hill, she's killed. She's dead to me. I don't know why. Nothing. Martina McBride one time. And who the hell does not marry Shania Twain? I mean, she's the reason that she made short shirts popular. She's the reason we get to see belly buttons all day long. She is the reason for the season. She's bigger than Santa Claus to me. So I would marry Shania Twain. I would fuck McBride. And Faith Hill, you can stay with that son of a bitch. I don't care. You're done with me. Next.
Agreed. I am in the same boat with Coach on that one. We're gonna fucking get rid of fucking Faith Hill because that bitch got to go. She has got to go. I mean, she's married to Tim McGraw of all fucking people. Jesus Christ.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Martina McBride, just one time because those big blue eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Shania, yeah. Largest selling female country artist of all time. I mean, how could you go wrong with that? I mean, Robert Mutt Lange, he let that shit go, but why? I have no fucking idea. But yeah, I'll pick up his sloppy seconds.
Donnie, you next.
I'm going to go with a little different. I'm actually going to kill Martina McBride, bang Faith Hill, and then Shania Twain. You can't.
Of course.
Yeah, that's a gimme.
Russ Bus.
I gave a lot of thought, and I'm going to go with Donnie here. I'm first of all not completely with Donnie. Faith Hill in the '90s was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
and she's still beautiful to this day. But I'm going to reluctantly kill her.
I'm fixing to mute him. Are y'all good if I mute him? Go ahead. Go ahead.
My childhood crush and the hottest woman I think I've ever seen in my life is Shania Twain. And I'm going to fuck her. Okay. Only just to fulfill my childhood fantasy. And the reason I'm going to marry Martina McBride, and Coach, you know this, and Donnie, you know this, I'm a singer. And I would love to hang out with Martina McBride and just fucking sing with her every day. I think that would be the coolest thing. So I would marry her.
Okay. I'll give you a pass on that one. Russ, what do you think, guys? Y'all good with Russ Bus? I think we're good with Russ Bus on that. I'm gonna go back real quick. I just want to throw this out there to you guys. God, I got bright all of a sudden. We were talking about TikTok and everything. You guys hear this? It's all over. It's all over everywhere, man. University of Texas blocks TikTok from campus Wi-Fi, and other colleges also. Georgia, A&M, all kind. They're doing this. Jeff Nealon, a technology strategy advisor for UT, he said that adding the university's decision to ban the app will eliminate risk to information contained in the university's network and our critical infrastructure. The university will prevent students from accessing TikTok through campus Wi-Fi, meaning the IP addresses associated with TikTok will be blocked, although they can still use their phones. And why are they doing that? Because they think China's going to get China's going to get in there and get some information and steal all our shit, right?
They are.
And they are.
They are. Yeah.
They're currently doing it as we speak. As we're doing this.
That move.
Y'all are stealing shit from here. Good luck with that.
Yeah. So fuck you, Ching Changs. I'm gonna fucking send Godzilla for your ass.
Yeah, dude. George is doing it. All these people, man. Oklahoma, Boise, Auburn, they're all going to be doing it sooner or later. They have to, I guess, now. We never hear from Ivy League schools though. Like we hear all these schools that win football championships and baseball championships, but we never hear from Ivy League schools doing stuff like this, man. I wonder what's going on there.
Because they're in bed with China too.
Yeah, that. And then, most of the schools that were mentioned were trying to expose all the pedophiles.
Oh, wow. Harvard, Yale, Brown, Columbia, Princeton, all those good ones. Hey, guys, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you one question 10 times. I started out, I wanted to ask you guys the top 10 most asked questions in the world, okay? As of 2012, that's where I got this from, right? Russ, I'm gonna throw you a curveball too, so get ready for this. So the 10 most asked questions in the world as of 2012, but they seemed a little too bland, too elementary. And I'll read them to you. We're not going to discuss these. I'll read them to you. The number 10 on the 10 most asked questions in the world as of 2012. Why do men lose their hair? That's number 10. Number 9, when is the world coming to an end? Number 8, do I really have a soulmate? Number 7, how can I lose weight and keep it off? Eat less, run more. Number 6, which are better, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Number 5.
Let's see.
This is why we're not talking about this shit, right?
Yeah.
Number 5, is there life on other planets?
Yes.
No. Number 4. Number 4, why is there suffering and death? Number 3, will I get laid tonight? You believe that's the number 3 most? That's the number 3 most. Number 2, is there a God? Will I get laid tonight? Got beat by one spot by will I get laid? Is there a God? And number 1, what is the meaning of life? Sounds a bit elementary. I mean, we could have fun with it and we can joke around with it. But then I found something else. I found the top 10 philosophical questions of all time.
Oh, I thought they were going to be on the dark web.
No. The top 10 philosophical questions of all time. Number 10. Now, these are the ones we'll talk to. Some more than others, but I want to run over the number 10. Does God exist? Some people think this is, like the number 1 question of all time. Really, this one's easy to answer. So that's why they put it at number 10. It's either a yes or a no to you, right? He either does or he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty simple. And then what is a God to you? Is it God, or is it a God, or is it an idol, or is there? I mean, what is a God to some people? God is different. God consists of 20 different things. You go to certain parts of the world. There's just certain things that they consider a God. So it's different. That's the number 1. I think that's pretty easy. I'm pretty sure within the 4 of us, it's either a yes or a no. Correct. Unless you have something to say about that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Here's one. Number 9. What is the meaning of life? Okay. Now this guy says this. I don't think this question means what you think it means. It might be that we're supposed to cut off all our limbs and babble gibberish in a cave in the desert until we die. Don't sneer. It's a possible answer to this question, and your dismissal of it is based on certain assumptions about what the meaning of life would look like, assumptions that you take for granted. You assume deep down not only that there is ultimate meaning, but also that it must look a certain way. And that would be applicable to your particular human life as well as others, but we don't know if that's true or not. There's a problem reconciling subjective and objective points of view. How can the things that have infinite value to me have a value to the universe? People have traditionally used God to bridge the gap. You matter because you matter to him, fine, but then everybody matters to him, and every 6-year-old child, school child understands. I'm just babbling on, but philosophers and poets will tell you to forget about the answer, that the question itself is bunk, and then it doesn't ask anything meaningful, and that it doesn't matter. A point well made by the mythologist Joseph Campbell, who said that human beings aren't looking for the meaning of life, but rather the experience of it, the rapture of being alive, which is wholly different, which is the assumption I came to earlier when I told you guys I was in an ice bath, and I'm looking towards the journey now and not the end result. What is the meaning of life to you guys? Donnie?
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women. Conan, baby.
How long have you been waiting to use that? Oh my gosh, that was Conan, right?
That's Conan.
That was a good one.
I mean, but honestly, and we talked about, this kind of goes hand in hand with the outro song that, you want to play at your funeral. You want to live a full life, and you want to leave something behind for your loved ones, and whatever that takes is your decision. It's in your head. What the meaning of life to me is going to be different to somebody else. The meaning of life to me is to be the best parent that I can be, to be the best father I can be the best friend I can be, and to have I want some success so that I can leave my kids better than my parents left me. That's what I want. That's my meaning of life. It's different for everybody.
Beautiful. Then that's what I want. That's what I want to do with these questions. I want to ask you, I want the listeners to hear what it is for you. Donnie just went from a good parent to a good person, success, leave something. That's it. For me, it's the journey in life. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I've got certain goals. I'm not really worried about that. Tomorrow when I wake up, I want to make tomorrow the best day I could possibly make it. That's me. That's my journey. I want to wake up. I want to get my ice bath. I want to come back. I want to hug and kiss my wife, maybe have sex, maybe not. A laugh or two with her. She goes to work. I go on with my life and and then I come back. And to me, like tonight, this is great. I want to be the best at this right now. This is my journey. This is what I want to do. You know what I mean? That's my meaning of life right now. That's the season I'm in. What about you, Russell?
Well, that's a very loaded question. What's the meaning? Hell, I don't know. Meaning of life. I think for me,
that's all I'm asking. That's all. What is the meaning of life for you?
I wake up every day. I just figure out what it is. We talk about giving a fuck and not giving a fuck and what we should and shouldn't. And really, I think that the things that I give a fuck about every day, putting the best foot forward that I can to make those things better. And at the end of the day, we all have a death date on us, right? When we're born, we're destined to die. And how, when you die, do you take care of those things you give a fuck about? And then at the end of the day, end up being happy the day that you die. For me, that's the meaning of life. How do you end up happy in this fucking journey?
How do you end up happy right before you die?
Yes.
I like it. J-Love.
Well, to kind of go with, with what Russ said in regards to the whole start date and end date thing. I've always
turn up your mic a bit, please.
I've always kind of followed that kind of like a personal mantra. I mean, it's not necessarily a personal mantra because many people follow it, but you have a start date and you have an end date. In between there is a dash. And during that dash, you need to own the fucking dash. So like with with what Donnie said about being a good parent, being a better friend, a better human, and then also with what you said, Coach, in regards to just enjoying the moment. And I think that's what we all want to enjoy. We want to definitely leave this world a better place than the way that we found it. I mean, and this is nothing new with people that ask me somewhat of a similar question, just worded differently. And on the fucking dash, I mean, enjoy the moment. However you choose to indulge in said moment, just enjoy it, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. And with me, it's all about passion. The Greeks had a huge thing about passion. To kind of go back to with you and visiting Greece and this, that, and the other. I hope and I pray, because that's on my bucket list too. I hope and I pray that when you do, go to Greece, I mean, you soak in that culture, you soak in that history, because there's a lot of fucking history over there. And the Greeks, when a man would die, and whether it be in battle or natural causes, whatever the case may be, they never asked, and we've touched on this before in prior episodes, but the thing is, they never asked about how many women he'd been with, or how many dragons he had slain, or how many lives he had taken, this, that, and the other. It was all about the passion. They would ask, did that man have passion?
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me in a nutshell. I want to leave this world knowing, or not me knowing, but everyone knowing that, what, he had passion for his music. He had passion for his children. He had passion for his life. He had passion for his friends. He actually gave a fuck. Going back to the, zero fucks given, which we all do. We all do give a fuck in a sense. And
if you don't, you need to.
Sure, for sure. Yeah. And I just want everyone to know that when I do decide to leave this godforsaken fucking earth, that I did have passion, and I did love those as best as I could, or as best as that I knew at the moment how to, and how to express said love, whether it be from a friendship standpoint, or from a lover standpoint, or from a parental standpoint. I want them to know that I love them the best that I could, and the best that I knew how. So.
Donnie, I think we just came up with a new Whiskey and Wisdom t-shirt. We're gonna do the Whiskey and Wisdom on the front, or maybe just the glass and the cigar on the chest, and on the back, on the fucking dash. On the fucking dash.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. That was well, I like it. I like where you started. I like where we started there. That was number 9. What is the meaning of life? You guys listening, go ahead and comment. Tell us what you think your meaning of life was. I mean, mine was basically just living in the journey, man. Taking the journey, taking the sights and all that. Don't stop to smell the roses. Now, I didn't say that. I didn't say stop. You keep going. Keep going. But the jersey, and then you got to own the fucking dash.
Thank you.
Dude, but you know what? I also think, I think Russell's a good tombstone, though. You know what I mean? Boy, he was happy before he died.
Yeah.
I mean, dude's happy. Daddy. You imagine this 5-year-old daddy. What's the meaning of life? Being happy right before you die, big boy.
That's right.
That's pretty deep and in and of itself. The meaning of life was number 9. Number 8. What is the relationship between mind and body? Okay. It's funny because this guy writes this, and again, this is top 10 philosophical questions of all time. His first sentence is, "This is a question most people probably don't think about, which is unfortunate considering it directly addresses the ability to think about anything at all." In its purest form, it asks, if the mind is intangible, unable to be touched, how can it interact with the world? How is pain translated from unfeeling electrical impulses to the sensation ouchness? Lots of folks these days like to think of the mind as software to the brain's hardware, and admittedly, this appears an easy solution, except that it leaves no room for consciousness. A problem brilliantly summarized by the philosopher John Searle in his own famous Chinese room argument. Imagine a native English speaker who knows no Chinese locked in a room full of boxes of Chinese symbols, together with a book of instructions for manipulating symbols. Imagine that people outside the room send in other Chinese symbols, which, unknown to the person in the room, are questions in Chinese. And imagine that by following the instructions in the program, the man in the room is able to pass out Chinese symbols, which are correct answers to the question. The program enables the person in the room to pass the test for understanding Chinese, but he does not understand a word of Chinese. In other words, the computer analogy insufficiently explains the phenomenon. What is the relationship between mind and body? This might be a little too deep, but fuck it. Donnie, you start.
So the way that I interpret that is it's like a test that you can do, but you don't understand the rulings on it. So I can complete the test, I can complete the task, but I don't understand why I completed it.
Right.
And that is a mind-body connection. So it's like a puzzle, and you have the instructions for the puzzle that tells you how to work the puzzle, but all you're really doing is seeing the symbols and you're seeing the shapes and trying to match the shapes up. Right. You don't understand what the picture is because you don't understand the symbols on them. But if you did understand the symbols on them, it would have been an easier task for you.
So it's like, are you telling me it's kind of like when we were kids and they gave us the blocks? You know, it had the stars and the circle and the squares and the rectangles, and we had to put the blocks. We didn't know why the fuck we were doing it. We were just doing it.
Right. But now imagine that those blocks had writing on them, and it told you that you were supposed to do them in a chronological order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But if you knew 1 equals 1, it would have been easier for you. So I've seen that question before. I think it's kind of a bullshit question. It's
that's what I wanted to hear.
It doesn't explain mind body. Mind body is completely different. I mean, you can do the mind over matter and all those different things and come up with various solutions, and it's just not the same as anything else. I think it's a bullshit question.
I'm with you 100%. J-Lo, what do you think? What's the relationship between body and mind? Mind and body. Mind and body, I'm sorry. It's important to put one before the other.
And those who mind don't matter. We'll go with that.
All right. Russ.
Stupid.
Well, I think it's a little, for me, when you first posed that question or read that question, you know, the relationship between mind and body and mind. I think all of us here try to exercise. We try to eat right. We try not to do things that damage our body because your mind doesn't
speak for yourself.
Well, your body, your ice bath, you do your.
Well, I'm changing my ways. You're right.
You've done things. When I first met you, you were a gym rat. You try to make your body strong, because if your body's strong, then your mind is stronger. So for me, that not if I don't know what that was. If you're trying to take care of your body, your mind will follow suit. You can't be a strong mind if you're not doing at least some things to try to make your body strong and your mentality strong. That for me, that's what I was thinking.
I'm with you, J Love. This is Donnie. I think it's a great question. I mean, I think it's a great question. If you don't have anything to do and you want to sit here and just contemplate something, this is a great question because you've got a billion different answers that you can get from it. Number 7, dude, this is a great question right here. Number 7, what happens next? This is actually two questions in one. Okay, bear with me. The first asks, what happens when the neurons in your brain stop working? In other words, what happens after life? Do we survive death? Religions vary on the subject. In the East, the answer to the question is yes. And you're reborn right back into the world. In the West, we also tend to answer yes, but only inside an eternity of extremes, either torment or paradise, heaven or hell. In either case, nobody wants it to end ever, which is just plain silly at a point argued wonderfully by British moral philosopher Bernard Williams. In an infinity of existence, he said, all possible things will be done an infinite number of times. And so eternity inevitably leads to a poverty of experience, a fate worse than hell. Existence itself becomes relentlessly tedious. This is an idea most people struggle with because the brain simply doesn't have the tools to comprehend the arithmetic of cosmic numbers. What do you think, Donnie? What happens next?
It's true. I mean, cognitive dissonance keeps you from exploding on this question. If you don't know what cognitive dissonance is, it's the ability for the mind to shut out certain things, like your clothes touching you all the time, because you have feeling there. There should be feeling. You should be feeling your clothes at all times touching you, but your mind blocks that out. As far as is there life after death, I'm a big believer in a universal consciousness, and I don't know that we progress straight to heaven or straight to hell. I think that we are given trials, and it's my opinion that we may even have to come back here multiple times until we get it right, because I think God is all good. I think he gives us the chance to live up to expectations, and maybe hell is literally living on earth for the rest of your life and suffering.
Sure does feel like it right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just my opinion, but that's what I think.
What do you think, Russ?
To touch on what Donnie was, I think he hit it spot on. That's exactly what I was thinking. You know, who knows? Who fucking knows? Well, you're going to find out one day, I guess, but I really don't know. I don't know.
J-Love, do you have an answer or an idea?
I agree with Donnie. I mean, it's who's to say that when we do decide to expire, that, I mean, that whole souls leaving the body bullshit and all that. I mean, who's to say that it doesn't? Who's to say that we're not stuck here? Who's to say that currently, as we speak, the life that we live, that is the hell that we are living? And it goes back to the all-knowing free will. I mean, we have that ability as humans, and we were given that right as humans to have free will. And who's to say that we're not gonna, well, we didn't get it right this time, let's try it again. And it's just a constant revolving door. And I'm with Donnie on not necessarily once we expire, then that's it. I mean, there might be something greater out there, and it's our chance to make it better this time around. Not to say that this time around is going to be the one, but and there's also that chance that we're going to be that dude that was stuck on that carousel, and he just can't seem to get to that open door, and he's been on that fucking carousel for 227 times, and he just keeps coming back, and he just keeps coming back, but it's always something different or someone different. So yeah, it's I mean, that was a good question. The one prior to that, I'm still pondering that one in my head. But
so let's see here.
What was that movie, The Butterfly Effect, where the guy kept coming back with Austin Kutcher?
Yeah. Yeah, the
Brett
first one was good. The second one was stupid.
saw the first one, but it was really good. Very deep.
Yeah.
What happens next? My answer, I would have two answers. Either when I die, I hope one of y'all's aliens comes and gets me and takes me to another planet and I could chill out with them. But I'm going to be the closed-minded Southern Baptist Christian and tell you that my Bible has nothing to say about that, except when you die, you immediately go to heaven or hell. You will be judged and you will be sentenced, and you are gone forever to live in the wrath and the hell of eternal damned fire, or in heaven. That is my closed-minded Southern Baptist Christian belief. Moving on.
Who's to say that? Who's to say that we can't be judged or sentenced?
No, you're right.
Man?
No, you're right. What
we were taught.
What I'm doing now, this exercise on this podcast that we're doing, is just answering the question on what you believe. I understand there could be a million things that could happen. I just want to know what you think would happen. So what I'm telling you, I think would happen. I mean, I'm not as closed-minded, but if you're just going to ask me what's going to happen, what happens next? Well, the Bible tells me I get judged. I'm going to go straight to heaven, or I'm going to go straight to hell.
What about the dead rising when the rapture happens?
Well, I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet.
Oh no.
Either I get up. I'm just saying this isn't. You're right. There could be a billion things. Right. These questions are hold on. These questions. Hold on. These questions are posed as questions for you to answer. If you don't have an answer, that's fine. If you believe there's 1,000 different things, if we don't know, we don't know. It's like Donnie said the previous question. That's a dumb fucking question. I don't like it. I don't have an answer. You're right. I don't either. I believe the same thing. When I read these top 10, I thought, wow, because I read them backwards. I read them from 1 to 10. And when I got to that one, I'm like, that's fucking stupid. The mind and the body. That's one of those zero fucks. I don't need to waste my time with that. What happens next, I think it's great because this could start a really, really intelligent conversation or just a fucking riot. You know, if you get the wrong people involved. But let's move on. This is funny. Me and my wife talked about this question for about 5 minutes, and we really laughed about this. Number 6, why is there something rather than nothing? This is this guy's favorite question of all time. Seriously, while this question, the question of existence, transcends every other one on the list, it's not number 1 for the simple reason that I suspect it's futile to ask, and in any case, the answer, if there is one, is quite possibly absurd. Have you ever looked at somebody and go, "What's wrong?" "Nothing." "Why?" "Well, your face changed. There's something wrong." "No, there's nothing wrong." "No, there's something wrong." "No, there's nothing wrong." Or, "What's behind your back?" "There's something behind your back." "No, there's nothing behind my back." Or, "You're hiding something." "No, I'm." Why is there always something rather than nothing?
Perception.
Ask yourself, why does it stop where it does? And what's outside? Is it nothing? I mean, you could talk about anything. We go back and talk about our talks about extraterrestrial, about the universe. I can ask Donnie, why does there have to be something out there? Why can't there just be fucking nothing? Why can't there just be a universe and nothing? Why does there have to be something? Because math says it? Okay, what if I fucking flunk math? Why does there have to be something? Why can there just be fucking nothing? What are you thinking about, honey? Nothing. Bullshit. I see your wheel spinning. What wheels? I don't have wheels on my head. Why does there always have to be something? It's a great question. Why is there always something rather than nothing? Donnie?
There's always something because your brain and your consciousness don't shut off. I mean, even when you're asleep, your subconscious is constantly working. It's constantly figuring things out. The only time that doesn't happen is when you are completely brain dead. So there has to be something with people. If they tell you that nothing's wrong, they may be true, they may be lying. They just may not want to tell you. That's their choice. But as far as like, is there something out there? Yeah, that's there's rocks, there's comets, there's asteroids, there's, you know, planets, suns, solar systems, everything. Now, is there also nothing out there? Of course. The difference between matter and antimatter is very simple. It's one is the lack of existence of matter. So there is absolute nothingness out there. But the reason that there is absolute nothingness is because there is absolute something as well. So you have, you know, some people call it dark matter, or, you know, because you know, it's easier to explain, but there's always something in your mind because your mind doesn't shut off. That's part of the universal consciousness that I think we're all connected to, you know, so that's my opinion.
Let me ask you to listen to this, Donnie. A sphere has 3 dimensions, right? Even if people living on the surface only experience 2, very clearly we can imagine one of them taking a shortcut through the 3rd dimension to cut across the center to the other side. Regardless of how many dimensions are actually occupied, it seems like we could always theoretically open one higher and so step outside of everything. Jayla, what do you think?
I chalk it up to perception. That's it. It's perception. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Russell.
The only thing I keep thinking is when you pose this question, when you ask somebody what's wrong, we really need a woman on this podcast, because every time I've ever asked a woman in my whole life what's wrong, I always get nothing. And I know there's something wrong.
But there's always something.
Because it's men and don't know what we did. 99.9% of the time, woman gets upset. You ask what's wrong. I have no idea what I did. I'm sure you guys probably experienced the same thing. So for me, if I look like if there's something wrong, you'll know it, and I'll tell you. I think we need a woman's perspective on this. Honestly,
I agree. So any women out there that want to be on here, please do that, guys. I am also going to email you this link so you can read it. Donnie, I think this question right here, it's got a lot of the shit that you used to study, the theoretical shit that you, not shit, theoretical stuff. Sorry, excuse me.
Physics.
That you can, I think this because it goes, I just dumbed it down to one question, but it goes into dimensions and different dimensions and stuff like that, which is pretty freaking cool. Number 5. And these are philosophical questions, top 10 philosophical questions of all time. I'm going to go through the next 5, and you guys tell me what you want to talk about. This one, why all this stuff and not some other stuff? He says it's probably the most dangerous question around. The answer here would settle the ancient battle between free will and determinism, nature versus nurture. Number 4, who am I? Like, who are you really? I know how we're defined. You know how you're defined. But who are you really? Number 3, how do I know what is right or wrong? I know it seems plain obvious. Things that are wrong are obviously wrong. And anyone who tries to make it more complicated than that is an atheist commie bastard. But that's not really what we mean. It's fine to say it's obviously wrong to lie, cheat, steal, or commit murder. Not many would disagree, but such an answer is hopelessly academic. The real question is what counts as lying, cheating, stealing, or murder. And how would I know that? Number 2, how can I know anything? That's pretty deep. And number 1, what am I supposed to do? Meaning more than just what's right or wrong. But what am I supposed to do? Another way of asking this, he said, is what is good, what is right. This is number 1 on the list simply because for the reason that had we an answer, we wouldn't care how much about the rest of it. We cling so tightly to say the arguments for God's existence are arcane, moral, theorized mostly because what they seem to give us is a real answer than what we're supposed to do. What am I supposed to do? How can I know anything? How do I know what's right or wrong? Who am I? And why all this stuff and not other stuff? Donnie? Oh, jeez.
I mean, what you're supposed to do is an interesting question. It's very similar to why am I here? And that's really a question that you have to decide. You have to decide what you are supposed to do. There's no roadmap for it. There's no blueprint for it. There's no instructional manual for it that says you are supposed to do this. You get to make up your mind whether you want to be straight, homosexual, an engineer, a lazy bum, a family person, a loner. You get to make your mind up on all those. Now, is your life experiences help dictate that? Of course. But at the end of the day, it's still your choice. I was freaking obese and I made up all kinds of excuses. My knee was bad. My metabolism was slow. I then made up my mind that I wasn't going to be obese. And I started researching, how to make my knee better. I started researching body types and how metabolism works. And I'm no longer obese. I'm a big guy, but I'm not obese. So it's really your choice on what you want to do or why you're here or what are you supposed to do in life. That's your choice. And here's an epiphany, or you can live it to the fullest.
Here's an epiphany on this. What if there is not an answer for it?
No, I don't think there is. I don't think there's a right answer. There's an answer, but there's not a universal answer, because my answer is going to be different than your answer and J-Lo's answer.
Mm-hmm. So then what we're saying here is what Matthew wrote in his book. God says you have only one job to do: go out and make disciples of all nations, bringing everybody to Jesus, bringing everybody to God as one.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's what he said. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, because I don't think that, like Donnie said, I don't think that there is no right or wrong answer. Everyone's answer is going to differ. Everyone's answer is going to be different. So it's going to depend on the individual, be it male or female, because there's only two genders. Let's square that up.
True statement.
Are you sure there's only two genders?
Let's not go there.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Hey, our society is so dumbed down and indoctrinated that anyone who's a critical thinker is perceived as a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Tomato, potato.
Dude, it's true. We just talked about that.
Yep.
It's very true.
All right, J-Love.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about your. You can have two songs, right?
Okay.
We talked about you can have two songs. That's okay.
Okay.
You can have an intro song,
right?
And you can have an outro song. So you can have
the outro song being the one, like, I guess, like it's played at your wake or whatever the fuck it is, right?
Yeah, let's just say,
okay.
Put it like this: you're in your casket, and they start rolling it down, and you're slowly going in. They play that song.
Okay.
What would be?
Well, that's definitely not. The way I was looking at it was, everybody has an intro song, right? I mean, so when you walk into a room and then all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the song that's playing in the background?
Right.
I mean, for me, it's Stranglehold by Ted Nugent.
Love it.
Okay.
My outro song, I mean, for when I'm long gone and just dust in the wind kind of thing.
Dust in the wind.
Good one. But no, probably Permission by 6 a.m. So,
Man, I haven't heard that in a good minute.
yeah.
Russell?
Nikki Sixx is a douchebag these days, but still he makes great music.
So my intro song, just because if I'm walking into a room and I think it's a badass fucking song, and I like to think I'm a badass. I'm really not. I'm more like a fat ass. But I would like to say Fade to Black by Metallica.
Nice.
Because fucking who doesn't love that? My exit song is the quintessential white person song. So at my funeral, at the end of the funeral, after everybody gives their eulogy, they talk about me. I want everybody at the end of my funeral, I want the song to come on. It's Neil Diamond, and it's Sweet Caroline.
Whoa.
Put in the ground, bop, bop, bop. Good times never felt so good.
So good. So
And
good.
don't start
Uh,
a beer and let's have a good time. I love it.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice. Nice. Donnie?
I didn't really think about the intro song. I kind of got this assignment wrong.
I'm with you. I don't have an intro song right now.
I didn't really go through it, but when COVID hit, Five Finger Death Punch came out with an album, F8, and there's a song on there called Shadows of Grey, I think, or Shades of Grey. Let me see. Hang on. Brighter Side of Grey. And if you haven't heard it, it's pretty much like life is not a game, it's a song. And, don't think of me in bad terms, just think of me in the good terms. And if you hear this, I'm gone. When you hear this song, I'm out. When I heard that, it hit me so hard. I immediately just basically dropped everything and said, I'm writing to my kids, because this was during COVID and I was working and I didn't, this was right when it first started and I didn't have a choice. I had to work. But I knew something was different. I knew something was strange. So
the lyrics
I basically wrote them a letter and put it in email form and saved it so that my ex could see it and my kids could see it on their, when they get to a certain age. And I update it every year or so. But it hit me so hard that I wanted them to know, like, when I'm gone, like, this is what I need you to know for life. Hey, last year was great, or, I saw you grow, I saw you do this, I saw you do that. But that's it. That song for me is the outro. I don't really have an intro because I didn't really look, I'll be honest.
One lyric that stands out in that song is remember, no one ever really dies.
Yep. That's it.
That's a good one. Good choice.
That is it. That's the song.
Well, my outro is definitely going to be the same one that my dad chose. For, I guess maybe it was the last year or so before he passed. I started playing the song every now and then when we were in the back for him. Well, I would play a lot of songs, but Luke Bryan, which I'm not a huge fan, but he did write a song. It's called "Drink a Beer," and I'm going to sit right here on the edge of this pier and drink a beer. And he loved that song, and he told me, he goes, "Hey, when the day comes, when my expiration date comes," I think that's how you called it, J-Love. "When my expiration date comes, I want you to do that." And so it did. Expiration day came, and the day after, I got my guitar and I went out to the north shore of Lake Bastrop. Back then, they only had one pier out there, all the way in the back, and I took my guitar out there, and I took 2 beers, and I drank one for me and one for him, and played that song. So if you get a chance, Luke Bryan, Drink a Beer. It's a great song. I dedicated that to my dad. And, you know, on the day that y'all want to spread my ashes into the lake, you can go and play that song for my outro song. I'm thinking about it now. Do Motley Crue Home Sweet Home? What a great song, though, right? No, I was a big Motley Crue fan. I love Motley Crue, man.
Hey, man, I was a huge Crue fan too. I mean, I got to meet them back on the Carnival of Sins tour. Got to ride on Tommy Lee's chopper to the parking lot. That was pretty cool. And then, I mean, and I remember then that was a bone age ago, but when I met them, their tour manager, short little petite thing, she was like, you know, just be cool with everybody, but especially be cool with Mick. And I'm like, well, what the fuck's wrong with Mick? And she was talking about, I mean, he had suffered from what is it, ankylosing spondylosis or whatever it is. I mean, it's a deterioration of the bones. He's all fucked up.
Right.
That's why he's no longer in the band. They could say all the shit that they want, but they got rid of him because it's now it's all about the money for them now. And she I just remember her saying, just be gentle with his hands. And I'm like, okay. And so I shook his hand, and it was the most gentle, one of the most gentle handshakes I've ever encountered. It was very creepy. It was and he was very
Epstein creepy, or
no.
Oh.
Just it was just creepy along the lines of it was a very timid handshake. It was a cold handshake. It was I don't want to be here.
Grim Reaper type of handshake.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a I don't want to be here type handshake.
No shit.
And I mean, but he went out on that stage and fucking slayed it that night. It was a very, very good concert.
Dude, Adrenaline is a badass, bro.
Oh yeah, Adrenaline.
Dude, I remember my first date with my wife. Our first date, we jumped out of a plane. I know I had to have told you the story. I'm gonna make it short though. Cool. We jumped out of a fucking plane, and then we drove all the way to Austin, went to Rainy Street, and we were there from 8:00 till they closed it down. Spent $400 worth of alcohol and could not get drunk. That's how fucking good Adrenaline was. Awesome. Jump out of a plane if you get a chance, gentlemen. Anybody out there listening, jump out of a fucking plane. Go ahead, Russ.
I tell you what's cool.
Especially.
So, we're talking about exit songs. I lost my grandmother, who I was very close to, about 8 years ago. And she knew before she passed away what song she wanted played and sung at her funeral. And it was, and she wanted my dad to sing it for her. He's also a singer. And he did Go Rest High on This Mountain by
great song. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Me and Coach, sitting in the garage a few times getting drunk, and me and Coach have some really deep conversations in that garage, and we've sung that song, and we've also done that song that he was talking about by Luke Bryan, who was the song was written by Chris Stapleton, by the way.
Exactly.
And we killed that song. But I think that's so cool to actually know, and my dad did it, and I was surprised that he could get through it without breaking down. But man, he did such a good job, and I just thought that was amazing. What a way to go, man.
By the way, you guys here on the podcast and anybody listen, the more y'all drink, the better me and Russell sound. Okay. Just make sure Donnie was here. And the more he drank, the better we sound. Hey, I want to play. Hey, before we give one last shout or one last word to everybody, positive, negative, or funny, I want to play a quick game with you guys. I want to go around. We'll go. I'm going to try to go 5 times if we can make it that far. Okay. I'm going to go try to go 5 times. Okay. I'm going to start, and then J Love, you're right after me.
Sure.
So it's me and you, Russell.
Mm-hmm.
You're after J Love.
Okay.
Donnie, you're after Russell, and then it's me again. We're going to try to go 5 times around. And I want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind. What is it? The word game. I'm going to give you a word.
Association.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to see where it goes because we're 4 highly intelligent human beings. Or y'all are 4 highly intelligent human beings. I just have a microphone. So I'm going to start. You ready? Gosh, I'm going to pay for this one. You ready, J-Love?
Oh shit. Yeah.
Okay. Black.
Wait, what? Block
Black.
or black?
Black.
Mafia.
Russ.
Casino.
Gambling.
Dice.
Clay.
Clay Aiken.
What did you say? What did he say?
He said Clay Aiken.
He said Clay. First thing that popped in my
Country
brain.
music.
Huh?
Country music.
No, I said Clay Aiken.
Shania Twain.
What? Shania Twain?
Yeah.
Wife material.
Okay, we're done. Russell's taking way too long. I don't know what Russell's doing. What are you doing? It's always you. After J-Love, it's your turn. I just said. Me, J-Love, you, Donnie. Me, J-Love, you, Donnie.
Hot.
Huh?
Hot.
Well, it's too late now. Hey, Donnie, leave us with something. That game went to shit. We'll never play that game again. We'll have to find something new. Thanks. Thanks, Russell, for making that possible. I appreciate it.
I don't like that game. That's like Telephone for Dummies.
I love that game, dude. I think it's funny.
Like what?
Telephone for Dummies. Remember the telephone game?
Sorry,
Yeah. It's more fun when you. Yeah. Okay. Donnie, give us something positive or give us something funny to our listeners to take away from tonight. Give them a good week.
Life is meant to be lived in the moment. You can plan for the future, you can remember the past, but if you're not living in the moment and absorbing everything that's going on around you, you're doing a disservice to yourself and to the people around you.
Thank you. J-Love.
Focus on you. You've done enough for the ungrateful, so focus on you.
Thank you. I love it. Russell.
Care and respect what your friends and loved ones think and feel. Don't put yourself first. Listen, don't speak. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. If somebody's reaching out to you and telling you something, even if you disagree with it, listen, because you're not in their shoes. Respect and listen and be supportive, because it is so important, because you don't know what that person is dealing with.
Yes. 100%.
Good one.
Guys, make sure whatever you hear, whatever you read, whatever you listen to, you sift through it. Okay? Sift through it, do your own research, because here's the bottom line. Make yourself better by giving a shit about the important things. Donnie said it's the journey. I've been saying it's the journey. Stay in the moment. Stay present in the moment. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, stay present in the moment. Feel the moment, live in the moment, relive the moment to become better. Just to become better. You can prioritize your give a fucks. You can prioritize what you care about, your emotions and everything else. But live in the moment, revel in the moment, and be the best you could possibly be. Donnie, J-Love, Russell, thank you for another great week. Everybody listening, thank you for listening. Go comment. Go to YouTube. Tell them to shove up their ass. Tell them you want us back. Go to Spotify, listen to our stuff. Like and comment. Send us some DMs. Send us some comments, whatever it is. Be on the show. Send us your email. You can be on the show, especially if you're a woman, if you're homosexual, if you're a trans. It don't matter. Come on. Let's hear it. We want to hear it. Guys, I appreciate everything. I hope you have a fabulous week. Hey, be excellent to each other. How about that one?